Thank you again for joining us at our new family welcome session. And my name is Jennifer Lansing. I'm your Family School Partnership Coordinator for secondary grades. The first thing I want to do is, because you're new to GCA, you may or may not have experience with Jigsaw yet, but if you don't, here, when you go into Jigsaw, you can click on the little settings button by your name, and that will allow you to be able to see all the different settings. You have your webcam, you have your microphone, and your notifications. If you hear a lot of dinging in the background and that's bothering you, you can click on that notifications button to disable the notifications so you won't hear those beeps all the time when you're in Jigsaw. So again, I'm Jennifer Lansing, your Family School Partnership Coordinator, and we'll talk a little bit about family engagement. So it is an ongoing process here that increases active participation and collaboration here at our school with you, the parents, and our school, the community, and our goal is to educate the whole child to ensure their achievement and their success here at GCA. So some of the ways that we serve you: we provide resources and communications for all families, including families of English learner students, limited English proficient families, so families that also speak other languages besides English at home, and maybe a stronger language if there's another language other than English that's stronger. We make sure to provide communications in that language for those families who request it. We also want to recognize the value of parents and how to communicate and work with them as equal partners. We do provide school parent compacts and engagement policies to families in a family-friendly language, and also provide volunteer opportunities and leadership opportunities for both students and for parents. Okay, so our mission and vision here at GCA. So our mission is Georgia Cyber Academy provides and supports an interactive virtual learning environment to support individualized and differentiated student-centered educational experiences, serving students from kindergarten through 12th grade. In our vision, Georgia Cyber Academy envisions a learning environment where students are empowered through the collaborative partnership of its students, parents, learning coaches, teachers, and administrators to successfully reach their full academic potential and emerge career or college ready and prepare to assume roles as positive contributors to society. Okay, so here is your administrative team for this school year. Your principal is Dr. Angela Anglin Taylor, and here's a picture of her. Hopefully she will be joining us in the session if Jigsaw allows her to enter the session. Next, we have we have all the assistant principals listed here on the screen and what areas they serve. So this presentation, in case you in the future would like to have some of this information, that way you don't have to worry about writing it down or remembering it. In our group note board, there is a link to the presentation. So that way you will have all of the links and all of the information in this presentation so that anytime you need it, you can go back and look at it. An overview for the 2022-23 school year. Dr. Anglin Taylor, thank you. I'm so glad you were able to finally get into Jigsaw. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties.
It is fine. I'm so happy to be here and thank you for your patience. I figure it out. That's what we do.
Great. So I'm going to go back to this slide if you want to. I talked about the mission and vision, but if you would like to start here, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure. First of all, I just want to say that I'm very happy to be the proud principal of the secondary grade band. I'm very excited about my work here at GCA and the students that we're going to serve. And on this slide, you'll see a long list of assistant principals, but this list really should translate into you can expect a lot of support for students and families that are served by GCA. And I'm looking at this slide. There's just, quite a bit that we offer here: dual enrollment, work based learning. You can expect that students will have consistent live instruction class sessions, and every student will have a lunch period, a nice, healthy hour lunch period. Credit recovery is available all year long. Um, and so, one of the things that I really want to highlight on this slide is the free tutoring that is available for all subjects. And if anyone is interested in that tutoring for students, just reach out to your FEL or content teacher and they can assist you with that. Please make sure that you have an opportunity to read through our district handbook and academic calendar. And I think I'm going to turn this slide over. Student expectations. And I'm going to give you a second just to look at these expectations. And in general, when we look at the totality of these expectations, I would say engagement is extremely important, and engagement looks like not only the face to face on this screen, but just reaching out to your teachers and asking questions. And if parents have questions, reach out to the staff, reach out to the FEL. So engagement really looks like just becoming a part of the school community and feeling comfortable to ask questions and let us know what you need. Students, please attend class regularly and on time. Even if you have flex schedules, please know that you can definitely attend classes and reach out for support. Okay, I'm going to have Jenny Hale jump on here.
Okay, so we're going to talk about asynchronous day expectations. So, for asynchronous days, there will be days sometimes here at GCA where you're not going to be in a live class session. So, you will have on those days, your teachers will have recorded lessons for you to complete on your own during this time. That is what we call an asynchronous day. So it will be marked on your students, or if you're the student, it will be marked on your Canvas calendar, and your teachers will be able to also give you directions in advance for those dates. So make sure that you view all class recordings that day. Make sure that you complete all assignments on those days, and also reach out to any questions to your teacher, because they're going to be the person who's going to be able to help you uh, know what assignments that you need to do. So how you access that is the same way that you would access your class normally. You go to Canvas, go to courses, and then you would click on Jigsaw. And then once you're in Jigsaw, you would normally see all of your class sessions, your live class sessions, but there's a little tab that says recorded sessions. So you would go to that tab and find the recordings for any recordings that your teacher has done for you. I'm going to touch briefly on learning coach expectations. So it's important that learning coaches enter attendance daily. That is very important. So we'll talk in a few minutes about Nucleus Live help. And so we will talk about, as far as if you need additional assistance with Nucleus and logging attendance. So it's important that parents also read their emails daily, because you may be getting some very important communication through email. So it's important that you check your email at least once daily. That's important for both parents and for students. And then if GCA has sent you a communication that they need a response to, please respond in a timely manner. It's really important that you fill out any paperwork requests or surveys that GCA sends to you. And it's important, this is secondary grades. These are high school students. So, they may be a little bit more independent, but it is important to make sure that your student is completing their assignments and, that they're doing them on time so that it does not negatively impact their grades. In class, it's important to let just as Dr. Taylor said, to attend all of your classes on time and using your whiteboard, the tools, participating in class. Your teachers really want to see you participating in class. So, you know, it's great to be in class. That's important, but it's also important to participate when you're in class. So that would mean if the teacher sends out a poll, go ahead and respond to it. Making sure that you are, to have your camera on as much as you can, and using the chat as the teacher asks you to. That's very important for students. And then for parents to monitor and make sure that your students are participating. And if your student needs extra help, that you can also you can contact the teacher. The student can contact the teacher as well. During assessments, it's important not to help students with assessments. These assessments are important for the school to be able to monitor your students' learning. And again, if you ever need any additional assistance, your FEL is always there for general questions, and they can guide you to the right person to speak to. Okay, so I'm going to go to attendance expectations. So we do have a program here at GCA called Nucleus. And, it's important, if you haven't set up your Nucleus account, that you go ahead and do that. You should have gotten an email from your attendance specialist, and there will be instructions on signing up for Nucleus in that email. So Nucleus is where you're going to add any extra attendance. You're going to check for any missing sessions and jigsaw classes. And on asynchronous days, you're going to make sure to add your students' time. And if you do not, then the consequence will be having unexcused absences. So that's why it's so important that you have your Nucleus account and that you're able to add attendance for your student. If you have any questions about your attendance or absences, that the attendance specialist would be the person to speak to about that. And you can contact them directly from Nucleus or via email and phone. For students with an IEP, if your student has an IEP, then and that would be an individualized education program. We are going to the school GCA is going to meet with the parent, legal guardian, learning coach, and the required team members for an IEP intake meeting. So this is why it's extremely important that all documents are sent to special education records at georgiacyber.org, the email address you see on the screen. And again, if you need the links in this presentation, you can click on the presentation link in our group note board. And that way you have the whole presentation that you can go back to this slide, so you don't have to write anything down or worry about rushing to write it all down. So it's important to also note that our meetings are held in Zoom, the IEP meetings, and must be accessed from a non-student device, because Zoom will not work on most student computers. So if you have any concerns about that, please reach out to the case manager. And it's important that parents attend all IEP meetings. And then after intake meetings, the student schedule may be updated. Just as important to note that too. If you have any questions, you can email the email address that's listed on the screen. So who does what around here? So your student does have a homeroom teacher who does the IA and the MAP testing, meeting with students, daily, and they can answer general questions, and they are a great resource, like just how you see here on the screen. The family engagement liaison, they will also answer general questions. Parents and learning coaches can reach out to their FEL, and they can help you log into Canvas, and facilitate and answer any questions about expectations and processes. Your school counselor. It's important to note that your school counselor is the only authority on grade level placement and credits, and they do create schedules, and they outline expectations for graduation. We have college and career planning that they provide. They create your students' individual learning plan, and they provide social and emotional support. So, if you need any information about contacting your student's counselor, you can also visit the website, and I have the link for the counseling department here. I'm putting it in the chat. And then lastly, you have your FSPCs, which would be me for secondary grades. We also have FSPCs for our elementary and primary and middle school and service and leadership, who are all here in the room for support today. So we send out newsletters with important information from the school. We facilitate new family welcome sessions like this one. And we also facilitate parent meetings and district town halls and other events throughout the year. Ways to get connected here at GCA. So GCA has great opportunities. The secondary grades have many different student clubs and honor societies that we're going to talk about a little bit more in just a minute. And clubs are led and moderated by GCA faculty and staff who mentor and guide student participants. We also have virtual innings, and you can look on the parent calendar for any virtual innings, or also, we do have events out in the communities. So those are things to look for on our events calendar on our website. Let me see if I've got our parent calendar here. I've got the link. And parents and learning coaches, we also have GCA PTSO, and we also have the Parent Advisory Council, and there's volunteer opportunities with PTSO and fundraising. And then the Parent Advisory Council is an opportunity for parents to be positive ambassadors, providing an impact here at GCA for students and families. So if you ever need to contact somebody here at GCA, you can always call, but especially if it's your student's teacher, they may be teaching classes all day. So an email might be the best way to reach them. You can definitely call and leave a voicemail for them to call you back. But email would probably be the fastest way for them to get your message. And if you include what you need in the email, they may be able to get back to you more quickly that way. So here's our phone number on the screen if you do need it. And then again, yeah, teachers are teaching in classes until about 3:30. Yes. Yes. So yes, email may be the best way of communication for a lot of people. Here is the general bell schedule for secondary grades, 7 periods a day. You can see the schedule on the screen. Give you a minute to look at it. And credit recovery and other intervention and supports are built directly into the student's schedule. Homeroom is required for all students. You will get important information and career and course planning with your counselor. Okay, so those of you who are in this session, you will be starting August 8th. And you should have gotten communications, emails saying that your start date was August 8th. If it was not, at the end of the session, you could always let me know if you have any questions about that. But August 8th the week will be a little bit different because we do have map testing the week of August 8th through the 12th. So the schedule is here on the screen. There's also a link for a s'more with some information about map testing. And so if you need more information, you can get it from the presentation, which is the link is in our group note board. It's just important during map testing week that you follow the schedule that's provided to you by the school, by your teachers, and you attend those sessions and know that you're going to be taking those tests on camera there with the teacher. And it's an important measure that the school uses to see your students' progress throughout the year. Okay, so to view your student's schedule, you can see it in Infinite Campus and in Canvas. Make sure that your student follows their school schedule each day, and your student schedule is driven by the transcripts received from the previous school. So it's important to make sure that all the records are received here at GCA from previous schools. And if you have any schedule change requests, that's something that has to be done through the school counselor. So if you need, you would have to contact your counselor. And here on the screen, it just shows you how to locate your student schedule in Infinite Campus. The GCA Counseling Directory. So your GCA secondary grades counseling directory is here in this presentation, and you'll be able to find your counselor. I also put the link for the counseling department in the chat. So you will be able to also look for the directory through there. But if you want to download this presentation and find the direct link for the directory, you can also do that. Department calendars. We do have on our website all of the calendars. So you just go to our website and click on calendars, and you can see all of the calendars here. How do you log in? So it's important to make sure that your student is in attendance to their classes. They would go to Clever first, then you would click on Canvas. Once you're in Canvas, you go to the course and then click on Jigsaw, and you'll be able to enter the course. And that may also make sure that your attendance is counted accurately. Okay, and so now it's time to talk just a little bit about student leadership and service clubs. And Michelle Gilliard is here, and she is our Family School Partnership Coordinator for Leadership and Service. So I would invite her to talk to you about a little bit about this.
Hi, our GCA family, our new families. It's so great to see you guys here today. So, just like in brick and mortar schools, some of you definitely have come to brick and mortars. If you've got students coming into high school, GCA has a well-rounded amount, and we keep increasing it every year, of service and leadership clubs. I usually serve as the primary advisor for all of those clubs. You will have teachers that will be co-advisors that will work with you in these clubs in your classrooms as well throughout the year. So we have GCA Student Council. Those you are elected into those positions by the student body. We have our Student Advisory Council. Those invites actually went out earlier this week. So we did get those pushed out a little bit sooner than we expected. A Student Advisory Council, the difference between Student Advisory and a Student Council. So Student Council is your student voice. They are, again, elected officials by you as students to serve them in different ways related to like things like school culture. Whereas Student Advisory Council is a group of students that we actually go through and poll and ask questions of at different points throughout the year in order to get feedback on how some of our programs and services are working out for them. So there's the difference between those two. We have Beta. Here, again, those invitations will go out in October. NHS is National Honor Society. That is for our 10th through 12th grade students. That is also by invitation only, and those invitations go out in the second semester. For National Technical Honor Society, that is also invitation only, as well as having 3 CTAE pathways completed. So if your student meets the GPA requirement for NTHS and has completed those 3 electives in their chosen pathway, then they will receive that invite. If they don't, my email is on the screen. You can always email and say, hey, Ms. Gilliard, I think my student qualifies for that, but I haven't seen the invitation. Again, it will be mid-October. NSHS, that is our National Society of I'm going to say that wrong. Spanish National Honor Society. Let's just keep it real. I don't speak Spanish and I'm not going to pretend here in this session. So we do have a Spanish National Honor Society for our Spanish speaking students. You must have been in Spanish for at least 1.5 semesters. So they want to make sure that you're enrolled in a Spanish course to participate in that Spanish National Honor Society. FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. And I always have to stop and pause a moment when we're talking about FBLA, because FBLA is not just business, it is all American enterprise systems. So any business within the US falls under FBLA. I always want to make that clarification. Some of the new ones that we've added this year is DECA. That will be a new CTSO for us this year. Again, that invitation will go out early in October. FCCLA, which is for more of your service industry jobs, our teachers, cosmetologists. TSA, which is Technology Student Association. That one is going to be specifically dialed into your STEM. So if you're into robotics, even though there is some crossover for NTHS and some of the other clubs, one of the things that TSA does is competitions um, during the school term where students actually go out and compete in different STEM-based sources. So again, that's the long and short of it. Again, thank you for your time. I'll turn it right back over to Miss Jennifer Lansing.
Thank you. Okay. So I know we've given you a lot of information today, and so I do want you to know that you do have support here. So at GCA, we want to make sure that our families feel supported, and we know that in the beginning you may have a lot of questions, which is why we have live help sessions. So we have Learning Coach Live Help, and the dates are on the screen: July 25th through August 12th. We do it Monday through Friday. August 15th through the October 19th, we do it Monday through Wednesday, and it's going to be from 12 to 1 p.m. To find these sessions, you can either download this presentation. You can also look at our parent calendar, because that's going to be the place where you're going to find all of the help sessions, all of our events, parent meetings. Those are all going to be on our calendar on our website. If you need attendance support, you also have daily live help for Nucleus, and it's going to be 12 to 12:45, and we have the dates here on the screen as well. If you have any questions about your Nucleus account, and if you haven't set it up, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and go tomorrow if you need help setting up your Nucleus account if you're not able to get into your account. Okay, so we did have our secondary grades open house. We have our recording here. So for those of you who are, here, it means you're going to be starting next week. So if you would like to see the open house recording, then you can download our presentation and click on the s'more link, and you'll be able to see the recording for the open house sessions. We do have some meetings coming up. Advanced and Gifted Parent Meeting is coming up, and you would be able to to see on the parent calendar, again, all of the sessions. We also have the copyright, piracy, and literacy training coming up. We have our secondary grades curriculum night, September the 1st. So you will be, this is where principals, assistant principals, teachers, and support staff will be there. And some of the items talked about would be standards, assessments, monitoring progress, and working with educators. So again, this would be found on our parent calendar. So if you want to, if you want to, download the presentation, this link is also there. We also have our parent meeting and parent university, our first one coming up September the 13th. We'd love to see you there. Again, in this session, it'll be specifically about math, but we do have different topics each month for our parent university, and it is on the parent calendar. Our secondary grades club's open house is also coming up, and you'll get some more information about this sent out to you soon. So on behalf of your secondary grade staff, we are looking forward to a great year with you. Thank you so much for coming and attending our session. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand to get on the microphone, you can do that as well. Thank you so much for coming.